live in a time where the stakes are higher than ever. The illusion of safety has dissolved. The economy trembles, and the line between progress and ruin has never been thinner. Every move you make is a calculation, whether you know it or not. Every habit, every purchase, every decision either sharpens your blade or dulls it. And those who refuse to audit themselves will soon realize ignorance is the most expensive mistake you can make. We are not living in an age of certainty. We are living in an age of volatility, where the unprepared are being quietly erased. The world no longer rewards effort. It rewards alignment. It rewards those who have the discipline to dissect their actions, analyze their behaviors, and calculate where each one is leading them. Because whether you're aware of it or not, every action you take is an investment of time, energy, or capital. The question is, what kind of return are you getting? Most people don't want to face that question. They fear what they'll see if they turn the mirror toward themselves. They fear realizing that their days are not moving them forward, but quietly draining them. Their routines are not building wealth, but bleeding it. They chase comfort disguised as productivity. They spend money to feel successful instead of becoming successful. And they drown in distractions while calling it self-care. We must face this truth. Progress demands confrontation. You cannot grow if you refuse to examine the patterns that are killing your potential. Take a hard look at your daily actions. Audit your hours like a ruthless investor examining the books of a failing company. Ask yourself, where is your time going? Where is your energy leaking? What returns are you truly getting from the habits you defend so passionately? Are you really building an empire? Or are you just maintaining the illusion of one while you rot inside? Financial strength doesn't begin with money. It begins with awareness, with brutal honesty, with the courage to admit that you've been lazy, impulsive, addicted, or afraid. And it begins with the discipline to change, not someday, but now. Because time is a currency more valuable than gold, and every wasted moment compounds into regret. We live in a culture that glorifies escapism. People are chasing quick dopamine hits, scrolls, likes, comfort, indulgence, while their real opportunities slip away. They treat money as entertainment instead of a weapon. They chase trends instead of principles. They gamble with their future for the thrill of temporary relief. But understand this, those who worship comfort will always be enslaved by it. Comfort is the silent killer of ambition. Every dollar you earn is a tool. Every decision you make determines whether that tool builds or destroys. Do you invest in knowledge, or do you spend on distraction? Do you let your money work for you, or do you work endlessly to feed habits that keep you broke? Every purchase is a declaration of your values. Every swipe of the card is a reflection of your self-control. If your financial life feels chaotic, it's not the market's fault. It's not inflation's fault. It's not the system's fault. It's a reflection of your mental systems, your patterns, your addictions, your avoidance. The external world is just a mirror reflecting your internal balance sheet. Audit yourself ruthlessly, because the truth is, the market does not forgive ignorance. It does not care about your excuses or emotions. It rewards discipline, patience, and intelligence. It rewards those who make moves when others hesitate. It rewards those who prepare, while others play. You must learn to separate wants from needs, desire from necessity, emotion from reason. The moment you begin to calculate with logic instead of impulse, you begin to take control. The moment you stop spending to feel alive and start investing to create life. You shift from being a consumer to a creator. That is the true transformation. From chaos to order, from noise to clarity, from survival to sovereignty. It starts with a daily audit. Ask yourself every morning, are my actions moving me closer to freedom or deeper into chains? Are my thoughts rooted in fear or strategy? Am I chasing quick pleasure or long-term fulfillment? Because if you don't ask, the world will answer for you, and it will not be kind. The new age demands a new breed of human, one that can stay calm in panic, strategic in uncertainty, and disciplined when surrounded by temptation. One who treats their life as a system, not an accident. One who plans, tracks, adjusts, and evolves with precision. You are the CEO of your destiny. Every dollar, every minute, every emotion is a department under your command. Are you running an empire or a circus? To build wealth, you must be willing to confront poverty. Not just financial poverty, but poverty of thought, poverty of focus, poverty of self-respect. You must burn away the parts of yourself that cling to the comfort of mediocrity. Audit every corner of your existence, your time, your spending, your relationships, your distractions. Eliminate the waste. Cut the dead weight. Optimize everything. Because every wasted resource, every missed opportunity, every undisciplined action is an enemy within your walls. You are not losing because the world is unfair. You are losing because you refuse to become as precise and intentional as the world demands you to be. We live in a storm, and the ones who will rise from it are not the lucky. They are the deliberate. They are the ones who sharpened their minds while others numbed theirs. They are the ones who didn't chase the next high, but built their foundations low, slow, and unshakable. We must face our truths, because denial doesn't protect you. It only delays the collapse. Audit your habits, your money, your emotions. Audit your excuses. Audit the lies you tell yourself to avoid growth. In a time of chaos, self-awareness is the highest form of wealth. And those who master it will not just survive, they will dominate. Because when the rest of the world panics, when the economy trembles, when the masses scramble for safety, you will stand firm, calm, calculated, certain. Not because life got easier, but because you became stronger, because you faced your truths and turned them into power, because you refused to be another casualty of comfort, because you became the architect of your own financial destiny. Audit yourself, build your empire, protect your sovereignty. The time of comfort is over. Now begins the age of clarity. Now begins the financial reckoning. Step 1. Conduct the brutal self-audit. Before wealth, before freedom, before success comes truth. And truth begins with the audit. You cannot build an empire on lies. Not the lies you tell others, and especially not the lies you whisper to yourself at night to justify why you're not where you want to be. The brutal self-audit is not a game. It's an awakening. It's where you rip the mask off and expose every corner of your life to the harsh light of reality. Start by facing the numbers. Open your bank statements. Print them out if you must. Look at where every dollar has gone in the past 30 days. Don't look away. Each transaction is a mirror reflecting your priorities. You'll see where your loyalty truly lies, whether it's to your future or to your impulses. Are you investing in your mind or feeding your distractions? Are you saving toward freedom or buying things that impress people who don't care about you? The true audit is not about guilt, it's about clarity. Because clarity is power. You cannot fix what you refuse to measure. You cannot change what you will not confront. Now extend this audit beyond money. Audit your time. Where does it truly go? How many hours are spent scrolling, consuming, avoiding? How much of your energy is being siphoned by people, environments, and habits that give you nothing in return? Write it down. Every hour accounted for. Every choice exposed. The audit strips you of excuses and reveals one undeniable truth. You are the product of your daily decisions. If your bank account is bleeding, it's because your habits are. If your goals feel distant, it's because your time is being spent elsewhere. If your life feels chaotic, it's because your systems are unexamined. The brutal audit will show you this, not gently, not kindly, but honestly. And you need that honesty, because in a world built on illusions, the truth is your only form of armor. Most people will never face it. They live in a fog of denial, convincing themselves that they deserve little indulgences, that things will improve later, that everyone else does it. But the truth doesn't care about justification. It keeps the score. And the balance sheet of your life reflects your every indulgence, every act of neglect, every broken promise to yourself. To conduct a true self-audit, you must silence emotion and look at your life like a business. If you were the CEO of you, would you invest in this company? Would you bet your money, your time, your faith on the way you operate right now? Or would you sell it before it collapses under poor management? The audit exposes that management. It shows you whether you're operating strategically or emotionally, whether you're disciplined or drifting. Here's how you do it. Audit your income and spending. List every source of income, every stream, no matter how small. Then list every expense. Categorize them: needs, investments, and leaks. The leaks are your enemies: impulse purchases, wasted subscriptions, moments of weakness. Every leak is a thief stealing your future wealth. Patch them without mercy. Audit your time. Write down how you spend each day, hour by hour, for a week. Be painfully detailed. How much time goes toward progress? How much toward numbness? If half your waking life is consumed by digital noise or avoidance, understand this. You are not short on time. You are short on discipline. Audit your energy. Track what drains you and what fuels you. The people you speak to, the places you go, the thoughts you entertain. If your energy feels depleted before noon, you are leaking it somewhere. Identify the drain and cut it off. Audit your habits. Every habit either earns interest or racks up debt. Your morning routine, your nightly distractions, your weekend escapes, each one compounds in silence. If your habits were investments, would you be in profit or debt? Audit your beliefs. The most dangerous financial liabilities aren't in your wallet, they're in your mind. Do you believe wealth is evil? Do you think you don't deserve success? Do you fear abundance because it requires responsibility? Until you reprogram these beliefs, no amount of financial strategy will save you. The mind writes the balance sheet long before the money ever arrives. This process is not comfortable. It's not supposed to be. When you stare at your financial life long enough, you'll feel disgust, anger, regret, and that's good. Those emotions are signals that you finally stopped running. The moment you feel them, you are closer to control than you've ever been. Remember, denial is expensive. Awareness is priceless. This is why few succeed. They cannot endure the pain of the mirror. They'd rather stay blind, pretending things are fine, until the consequences devour them whole. But not you. You're here to rise above mediocrity, and that rise begins with this audit. You must be willing to see yourself without filter, to admit where you failed, and to take back control from the emotional impulses that have been running your life. You are both the problem and the solution. You are both the accountant and the debt. And you will not rebuild your empire until you learn to govern yourself like a sovereign power. Disciplined, deliberate, awake. So face the truth. Pull back every layer of illusion. Track every number, every minute, every ounce of wasted potential. Because once you've done the audit, there is no going back to ignorance. You will see your patterns clearly. You will see your future clearly. And in that moment, you will understand that wealth does not begin with money. It begins with awareness. It begins with accountability. It begins with the brutal self-audit. Step 2. Separate necessity from addiction. This step will test you because it demands something few people are willing to do. It demands self-confrontation. It requires you to separate what you truly need from what your mind has been conditioned to crave. Most people's financial destruction doesn't begin with one catastrophic mistake. It begins with subtle, repeated indulgence. One unnecessary swipe of the card at a time. One, "I deserve this," at a time. One comforting lie told in the name of temporary happiness. But here's the truth you must face. Comfort can be an addiction just as deadly as any drug. And in this world, the addiction to comfort is what keeps the masses enslaved. Necessity is fuel. Addiction is poison. And the difference between the two determines the direction of your life. Start by stripping your life bare. Look around your home, your bank account, your habits. Ask yourself, what do I truly need to survive, grow, and build? Necessities are the pillars that sustain your structure. Food, shelter, education, investment in your craft, your health, your mind. Everything else is an emotional attachment disguised as a requirement. The problem is, addiction wears the mask of need. It whispers, "You've worked hard. You earned this." It convinces you that indulgence is balance, that pleasure is progress, that instant gratification is self-care. But addiction never feeds you. It drains you. It trades your long-term stability for short-term relief. That relief becomes a pattern. That pattern becomes your downfall. If you want to take control of your finances and your life, you must become a psychological accountant. Your job is not just to count dollars, but to trace why you spend them. Every transaction has an emotion behind it. Boredom, loneliness, ego, insecurity, pride. Identify those triggers. The next time you feel the urge to buy, stop and ask, what feeling am I trying to escape? What void am I trying to fill? What am I rewarding myself for? And does it actually deserve a reward? When you begin to answer those questions honestly, the illusion shatters. You'll start to realize how often you trade fulfillment for distraction. And once you recognize the pattern, you have the power to break it. Understand this truth. Addiction to comfort is the enemy of freedom. The people who remain broke aren't always lazy. They're often addicted. Addicted to spending, to comfort, to the illusion of success. They buy validation in the form of status symbols. They buy peace of mind with entertainment and indulgence. They buy time by wasting it. But every addiction has a price, and that price is your sovereignty. When you depend on anything external to feel whole, you are no longer in control. You become a puppet, pulled by invisible strings of impulse and marketing. You become a consumer in every sense of the word, consuming your money, your energy, your focus, and your potential. The world wants you addicted. It profits from your weakness. Every app, every ad, every algorithm is designed to keep you chasing hits of dopamine, So you never stop to question where your time and money are truly going. You must declare war on that conditioning. Here's how to start. Categorize every expense. Divide your spending into 3 columns: needs, investments, and addictions. Needs sustain you. Investments grow you. Addictions drain you. When you do this honestly, you'll be disgusted by how many of your needs are actually comforts you've elevated to sacred status. Rebuild your reward system. Right now, your brain rewards you for consumption. You feel accomplished when you spend, not when you save. That must change. Start celebrating restraint. Feel pride in self-control. Every time you say no to an impulse, you're voting for your future self. You're teaching your brain that discipline feels better than indulgence. Detach emotion from money. Money is a tool, not a therapist. It does not exist to make you feel better. It exists to give you options. Treat every purchase as an investment decision. Ask yourself, will this give me more power or less? If it doesn't make you stronger, it's weakness disguised as pleasure. Replace escapism with creation. Most financial addiction is fueled by boredom. People spend because they're not building. When you immerse yourself in meaningful work, the urge to escape fades. Create something. Income streams, systems, habits. Redirect the energy you waste on consumption into construction. Fast from comfort. Every so often, take a week to remove your comforts. No eating out. No streaming. No purchases beyond survival. This isn't punishment. It's recalibration. It reminds you of the power of restraint and reconnects you to gratitude. Once you begin to separate necessity from addiction, your vision sharpens. You begin to see how much of modern life is built to keep you unconscious. You realize that minimalism isn't about owning less. It's about owning yourself. Your bank account stabilizes. Your mind clears. You stop leaking energy into things that never mattered. The noise quiets, and your decisions become intentional. But understand, this process isn't just financial, it's spiritual. Because every time you say no to impulse, you say yes to mastery. Every time you choose delayed gratification over instant relief, you reclaim a piece of your power. And that's what this entire journey is about. Freedom is not found in abundance. It's found in control. Wealth is not built through more. It's built through less, done with purpose. So separate your needs from your addictions. Discipline your desires before they devour you. Audit your impulses as carefully as your income. Because the person who controls what they crave controls everything. Step 3. Build a system, not a fantasy. Most people never fail because they're incapable. They fail because their lives are built on improvisation instead of structure. They dream endlessly, but plan nothing. They talk about change, but they operate without a system. And a dream without a system is just a hallucination. If you want to achieve financial strength in an age of chaos, you must understand one law above all. Discipline without structure collapses under pressure. The system is what saves you when emotion tries to destroy you. The system is what keeps you moving when motivation dies. The system is what separates the impulsive from the strategic, the broke from the sovereign, the talkers from the builders. Without it, you will drift endlessly. The truth is, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the strength of your systems. Every successful investor, every disciplined creator, every master of wealth has one thing in common. They built a framework that protects their focus and multiplies their effort. Their success is not based on bursts of inspiration. It's engineered through process. You must become the architect of your own process. You cannot keep winging it. You cannot rely on emotion to carry you through. You must systematize your progress so that even on your worst days, you still move forward. Let's break this down. 1. Systemize your money. Your finances must operate like a machine, not a mood. Most people live by impulse. They spend when they feel good, save when they feel scared, and invest when it's already too late. A system removes emotion from the equation. Start with automation. Pay yourself first, automatically. Have a portion of your income sent directly into savings or investments before you ever touch it. This single act transforms your financial psychology. You stop surviving on leftovers and start building by design. Then, categorize your accounts. Operating account for daily living expenses. Growth account for investments, business, education, and wealth building. Emergency reserve for protection against chaos. Legacy account for long-term goals and impact. Labeling your money gives it purpose. Purpose gives it direction. Direction creates stability. When you track your cash flow like an engineer, you remove the fog of uncertainty. You know where everything goes, why it goes there, and how it's working for you. And that's the foundation of financial peace. Not luck, not prayer, but systemized clarity. 2. Systemize your time. Money is renewable. Time is not. Yet most people manage their money more carefully than they manage their hours. You must schedule your priorities, not just your tasks. Divide your time into blocks of intent. Income blocks, activities that generate or multiply money. Growth blocks, learning, reading, studying markets, refining skills. Health blocks, rest, nutrition, physical training. Silence blocks, reflection, recalibration, and mental clarity. If your days have no structure, your wealth will always have no order. The brain thrives in systems. It performs best when it knows the plan. Wake up knowing exactly what you are building and why. And remember, if you don't design your time, the world will gladly waste it for you. You cannot be wealthy in chaos. You cannot reach freedom in disorder. Structure is sacred. It's what converts potential into power. 3. Systemize your habits. The most powerful system is not digital. It's behavioral. Your habits are the invisible architecture of your future. You must re-engineer your routines so they serve your mission automatically. When you wake, when you eat, when you think, when you act, all of it must align with the person you are becoming. Create triggers and checkpoints. For every bad habit, install a counter habit that neutralizes it. If you scroll too much, set screen timers. If you overspend, delay all purchases by 24 hours. If you avoid hard work, schedule accountability. Systems are not cages. They are armor. They don't restrict you. They protect you from your weaker self. Every habit that runs on autopilot frees your mental energy for creativity, strategy, and execution. That is the essence of freedom. Not doing whatever you want, but having the discipline to make what you should do automatic. 4. Systemize your learning and growth. In a world that changes daily, education is your insurance policy. But random consumption of information is useless. You need a structured method for growth, like a syllabus for your evolution. Decide what skills will elevate your financial future. Study them daily. Track your progress weekly. Apply what you learn immediately. Most people treat learning as entertainment. They watch, read, consume, but never integrate. You must weaponize your knowledge. Every book, course, or mentor should translate directly into upgraded action. Keep a knowledge ledger. Each week, write 3 things you learned, 3 actions you took, and 3 results you noticed. This turns learning into leverage. It's no longer passive. It becomes a measurable system of progress. 5. Systemize your emotional state. Even the best system collapses when emotion takes control. So you must build emotional guardrails, rituals, and responses that protect your state from chaos. When you lose money, when plans fail, when markets crash, you must not panic. Your system exists to guide you through the storm. Revisit it. Trust it. Adjust with logic, not fear. Use journaling, meditation, or silence as tools to reset. Keep data on yourself. What triggers stress? What restores focus? What drains willpower? Over time, you'll be able to predict and prevent your emotional sabotage. A disciplined mind is an unbeatable system. When all of these structures combine, money, time, habits, growth, and emotion, you become something rare, a human machine of precision and power. You will start to see results compound, not because you're doing more, but because you're doing what matters, consistently. Your wealth will grow not through bursts of effort, but through engineered repetition. Systems remove the need for constant motivation. They make excellence routine. And once you've built them, something profound happens. Your mind becomes quiet. There's no more chaos, no more guessing. Just order, clarity, control. You stop chasing success, and instead you start running a system that creates it. No fantasy, no luck, no hope. Just deliberate mechanical precision. That's how the wealthy think. That's how the disciplined win. And that's how you turn ambition into an empire. By building a system that cannot fail, even when you feel like you might. Step 4. Build emotional discipline in a volatile world. No system, no strategy, no amount of financial intelligence will save a mind that is ruled by emotion. Because in the end, it's not the economy that ruins most people. It's their reaction to it. When fear rises, they panic. When greed calls, they chase. When boredom creeps in, they gamble. And in those moments, years of progress can vanish with a single impulsive choice. Emotional discipline is the line between power and destruction. It's what allows a person to hold firm when everyone else breaks. It's what separates the investor from the gambler, the strategist from the fool, the master from the slave of his own impulses. If you cannot control your emotions, you will never control your money. We live in an age of volatility, financial, psychological, and emotional. Markets fluctuate, media manipulates. The world screams in cycles of panic and euphoria. And every headline, every post, every whisper from the crowd is designed to trigger you, to push you into reaction mode so you can be controlled. That is the first truth of emotional mastery. The world profits from your emotional instability. When you panic, you sell low. When you chase, you buy high. When you're bored, you spend. When you're anxious, you distract yourself with consumption. You are being programmed to act on impulse, and every impulsive act costs you. Not just money, but power. To build true wealth, you must become a fortress of composure. 1. Master the pause. When something shakes you, when markets crash, when prices rise, when your account dips, your instinct will be to react. Don't. Pause. That pause is your most powerful weapon. Emotion lives in milliseconds. Wisdom lives in reflection. The pause gives you the space to switch from instinct to intellect, to let the rational mind take command before emotion writes a check your future can't cash. Every time you pause, you prove to yourself that you are not your panic, not your greed, not your anxiety. You are the observer behind them. And that separation between emotion and awareness is where freedom begins. Train yourself to delay decisions, especially when emotion is high. No investing on impulse, no selling in fear, no buying in euphoria. Hold your ground, breathe, and let the storm pass. Because storms always pass, and when they do, it's the calm ones who rise from the wreckage, with everything intact. 2. Use data, not drama. Emotion clouds judgment, data clears it. When you feel overwhelmed, turn to the numbers. Numbers don't care about fear or hope. They reveal truth. Study your cash flow, review your spending, analyze market trends. Detach your identity from the outcome and focus on the information. Once you train yourself to replace panic with analysis, you step into the mindset of the strategist. Emotion says, I feel. Data says, I know. And knowing is power. This is how professionals operate. They don't make decisions based on mood. They act on math, on principle, on structure. Remember, the world of finance rewards precision, not passion. Let your emotions inform you, but never let them command you. 3. Build rituals that anchor you. Discipline is not sustained by willpower alone. It's maintained by ritual. When the chaos of the world tries to unbalance you, rituals are the weights that hold you steady. Rituals can be small: morning routines, meditation, journaling, exercise, reviewing your goals. Or they can be strategic: weekly audits, planning sessions, reflection days. These are your anchors. They create consistency in an unpredictable world. When fear rises, return to your ritual. When anxiety whispers, return to your structure. When greed tempts, return to your system. The ritual reminds you who you are, the one in control. Without anchors, you drift into the chaos of collective emotion. But with them, you become unshakable. You move with clarity, while the masses move with noise. 4. Learn the art of emotional alchemy. Emotion isn't your enemy. It's raw energy. The goal is not to kill emotion, but to convert it. Fear can become vigilance. Anger can become precision. Greed can become hunger. Sadness can become introspection. When you learn to redirect emotional energy into productive motion, you stop being its victim and start becoming its master. Feel the emotion fully, then refine it. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? What information is hidden within it? How can I turn this discomfort into direction? Every powerful person you admire has mastered this art. They feel what others feel, but they translate it differently. Where others see chaos, they see opportunity. Where others collapse under pressure, they channel the pressure into progress. This is the transformation of emotion into energy, and it's the foundation of greatness. 5. Train for pressure. Like a warrior. A warrior doesn't rise in battle. He trains for it every day. You must do the same with your emotions. You build composure, not by avoiding stress, but by practicing calm in the storm. Expose yourself to discomfort deliberately. Train your tolerance for uncertainty. Set small daily challenges that stretch your patience and discipline. When you learn to remain composed, while everything screams for reaction, you develop the emotional calluses that protect your wealth and your focus. Because the world will test you. Prices will fall. Markets will burn. People will panic. And while they crumble, you will stand still, watching, calculating, waiting. Your calm will be your competitive edge. Your restraint will be your weapon. Because money flows to those who can wait, and power belongs to those who can endure. The mind of the unshakable. The end goal is to build a mind that moves like a sniper, not a crowd. Emotionally neutral, focused, detached from noise. That's when you stop being reactive and start being strategic. That's when you stop following the market and start predicting it. That's when wealth stops being luck and becomes inevitability. But you must earn that neutrality. You must train it, one reaction at a time, one storm at a time, one pause at a time. Because emotional discipline isn't built in comfort. It's forged in chaos. It's born in moments where your instincts scream move and you stay still, where your fear screams sell and you analyze instead, where your ego screams prove them wrong and you remain silent. That's when the transformation happens, when emotion becomes a servant, not a master. Remember this: the market is not your enemy. The economy is not your cage. Your undisciplined mind is. If you can conquer it, if you can remain calm while others collapse, then no crash, no recession, no manipulation can ever take what you've built. You will no longer move with the herd. You will move above it. You will no longer trade on emotion. You will trade on truth. And when the world burns, you will be the one holding water. That's what it means to build emotional discipline in a volatile world. That's what it means to be sovereign in the storm. That's what it means to rise while others drown. Step 5. Live by the numbers, die by the truth. This is the step that separates the dreamers from the disciplined, the fantasists from the real, the financially free from the forever enslaved. Because after all the talk, all the systems, all the discipline, it all comes down to this: you must live by the numbers and die by the truth. No lies, no illusions, no stories, only data, results, and accountability. The world has enough people who live in emotional narratives. They feel like they're doing well. They feel like they're saving enough. They feel like they're working hard. But feelings are deceptive. Feelings are fleeting. The truth is written in numbers, and the numbers never lie. 1. The numbers are your reality. The numbers will tell you everything. They are the reflection of every decision you've made and every habit you've refused to break. They reveal the quality of your thinking, the strength of your discipline, and the honesty of your actions. Look at your bank balance, your debts, your income, your savings, your investments. That's not just data. It's a mirror. It's who you are when the mask comes off. And here's the hard truth: if the numbers aren't improving, you aren't improving. If your savings aren't growing, your excuses are. If your income has stagnated, so has your ambition. If your spending is rising faster than you're learning, you're moving backward, no matter how much you try to justify it. The numbers strip away all delusion. They don't care about effort. They care about effectiveness. So track everything: weekly, monthly, quarterly. Measure where you stand, not to punish yourself, but to stay anchored in reality. Because in finance, denial is a death sentence, and truth is salvation. 2. The discipline of accountability. You must learn to hold yourself accountable with the precision of a machine. Every month, review your financial life, like a commander inspecting his troops. Ask yourself, what did I build this month? Where did I lose ground? What pattern needs to be eliminated? What system worked? What system failed? Accountability isn't shame, it's power. It's the act of refusing to be fooled by your own comfort. Because comfort will always lie to you. It will whisper, "You're doing fine," even when the data screams otherwise. You must be willing to see the failure, feel the sting, and then correct it immediately. That pain you feel when the truth hits, that is the cost of awakening. Most avoid it. The few who embrace it become unbreakable. Real accountability means no more hiding, no more pretending you did your best. The truth truth is in the outcome. The numbers don't care about your best. They care about your execution. If your goals are unfulfilled, it's not the system, it's your discipline. If your system is failing, it's not fate, it's your follow-through. You must be both the boss and the employee of your destiny. Demand results from yourself as if you were paying you. Would you keep yourself on payroll based on your current performance? If not, then it's time to tighten the operation. 3. Learn to love the audit. At first, the audit is painful. You'll see the waste, the inefficiency, the emotional spending, the excuses stacked high like unpaid debts. But over time, something shifts. The audit becomes sacred, because in a world drowning in lies, the truth becomes addictive. You'll begin to crave precision. You'll start to enjoy knowing where every dollar goes, how every asset performs, and how your time translates into value. You'll become obsessed with optimization, not out of fear, but out of respect for your potential. When you live by the numbers, you become a scientist of your own life. You stop guessing. You stop hoping. You start knowing. That's the mark of mastery. Clarity so sharp it cuts through confusion like a blade. And with that clarity comes peace, because you'll no longer fear what you can measure. Most people are haunted by their finances because they never look directly at them. They avoid the bank statement, the debt total, the declining investments. But what you avoid controls you. What you confront, you control. So stare at the numbers until the fear dies. And when it does, you'll realize that the numbers were never your enemy. They were your guide all along. 4. Accept the brutality of truth. Truth is not kind. Truth is not comforting. Truth does not bend for your feelings. But truth is fair. And it's the only foundation strong enough to build lasting wealth on. You must learn to stand in front of the truth without flinching. When your spending habits are bleeding you dry, face it. When your strategy isn't working, face it. When your income doesn't match your effort, face it. When you've been lazy, inconsistent, distracted, face it. Most people will never do this. They'll live in denial until the collapse forces them into reality. But the wise choose to confront the collapse early, internally, before it happens externally. When you live by truth, you kill fantasy. You stop saying, "I'll be rich one day," and start asking, "What behaviors must die today to make that real?" That's the power of truth. It forces rebirth. It strips away the weak parts of you so the disciplined, strategic version can emerge. 5. Make truth a daily ritual. Don't let truth be a once-a-month check-in. Make it your daily companion. Every morning, review your systems. Check your numbers. Evaluate your alignment. Every night, measure the day. Did I move closer to my goals or further away? Even a 1% improvement daily compounds into transformation. But only if you're tracking, only if you're honest. The moment you stop measuring, you start drifting. And drifting, in the financial world, is death by comfort. Truth must become part of your identity. You must crave it like air, because truth is the only thing that doesn't crash when the market does. It's the one investment that never loses value. 6. The mindset of precision. Once you start living by the numbers, you become dangerous, because you no longer rely on luck or emotion. You rely on evidence. You make decisions the way generals plan wars. Informed, strategic, exact. You no longer buy based on impulse. You buy based on probability. You no longer chase trends. You build positions. You no longer rely on hope. You rely on execution. You move differently. You speak differently because numbers don't bluff, and neither do you. Living by the numbers transforms your psychology. It creates calm. You stop guessing if you're winning. You know. And that knowledge gives you something priceless in a volatile world. Certainty in yourself. 7. The law of compound truth. Every time you face truth and correct your behavior, you strengthen your inner architecture. Your awareness compounds. Your intelligence compounds. Your control compounds. Soon, the chaos that once ruled you becomes predictable, manageable, even profitable. This is how legends are built, not by avoiding pain, but by mastering precision. So live by the numbers. Die by the truth. Because when your life becomes an equation, emotion loses its power to deceive you. When your decisions are measured, chaos loses its ability to seduce you. And when you make truth your compass, you will never be lost again. Final reflection. There is no greater peace than standing in the full light of truth, knowing exactly where you are, where you're going, and what must change to get there. The numbers will hurt you at first. They will humble you. But then, they will shape you. They will strengthen you. And eventually, they will free you. Because when you live by truth, you live by power. And when you live by power, you no longer chase freedom. You become it. In the end, everything comes down to one truth. Your life is the sum of your audits. Every decision you've made, every dollar you've spent, every emotion you've obeyed or mastered. It's all written in the invisible ledger of your destiny. And that ledger doesn't lie. It tells the story of whether you built or decayed, whether you grew or escaped, whether you led yourself or betrayed yourself. We live in a time where the stakes have never been higher. One wrong move can cost you years. One impulsive decision can wipe out everything you've built. And one honest audit, one courageous act of self-examination can change the entire trajectory of your future. That's why this path demands precision. It demands you strip away comfort, silence your excuses, and face the unfiltered truth about how you live. You must audit your actions, separate your needs from your addictions, build systems that keep you disciplined, master your emotions when the world burns, and live by the numbers that reflect who you really are. Because if you don't measure yourself, the world will. If you don't command your emotions, the market will. If you don't discipline your mind, someone else will do it for you. And they'll profit from your weakness. The ones who survive what's coming aren't the lucky. They're not the gifted. They're the calculated. The ones who sharpened their clarity while others drowned in comfort. The ones who studied their patterns like scripture, refined their systems like art, and made discipline their religion. You see, money doesn't make a person powerful. Control does. Control over emotion, control over impulse, control over time, energy, and thought. And when you develop that control, you stop being tossed by the tides of uncertainty. You become the tide. The reckless will keep chasing dopamine. The distracted will keep calling their chaos balance. The undisciplined will keep mistaking comfort for peace. But you will operate on a different frequency, a colder one, a clearer one, a warrior's frequency. You will move with precision. You will make decisions by data, not delusion. You will live by truth, not trends. You will build wealth that is rooted in awareness, not arrogance. The financial world is a battlefield, and you are both the weapon and the strategist. Your mind is the fortress. Your systems are the armor, and your discipline, that is the sword that will carve your path through chaos. So audit your life, Cut the waste. Track your progress. Refine your system. Conquer your emotions. And live by the truth, no matter how sharp it feels. Because the truth may cut, but it carves kings. And the disciplined few who learn to wield it will walk through the storm untouched, calm, precise, unbreakable. In this era of volatility, you have two choices: to drift with the crowd into collapse, or to rise with clarity into sovereignty. Choose your side, because the reckoning isn't out there, it's within you.